are. Welcome to Test, Track, Trace, Brave New World. I'm Kate Rutter, this is Melanie Crawley, this is Karen Mulcahy, and we're missing our fourth member, Nadia Imam, tonight. We're delighted to have with us Giving Voices Choir, led by the wonderful Josie Robson. We're very grateful to Ben Fitzgerald, our stage manager, and Kira in the box, and the whole team at Deli. Tonight, we are featuring the work of well-established writers and developing writers. Thank you very much to all the actors and directors who've given their time to realise this new writing, which is a response to what we've all been going through in the last 20 months. Now, I think outside this building, it's all looking a bit grim, let's be honest, again. But it's better than it was last time, because so many people are vaccinated. We're here together giving the lie to the increasingly divided society we live in. We've been led through this pandemic by donkeys, or perhaps I should say it as it is and say we've been led by murderous creeps who couldn't care less about anything except power and money. But for tonight, let's be together to celebrate just that, being together. Please, please keep your masks on, keep your distance, and let's look after each other. Thank you so much for coming, especially those who came last time. We love you. And it's great to be live again. Thank you, enjoy.
Good morning.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Sarah.
I just said good morning.
You've got to connect to the audio.
Carol, I just said good morning.
Oh, my mistake there. You're unmuted now. I think I can hear you now.
Good
Try
morning.
again. No.
Good morning.
You go. Sorry.
Good morning!
It's such a nightmare, isn't it?
Do I have to provide my own chair?
Of course.
Right.
Sorry, I did ask head office to provide a sofa for each of us, but there were supply chain issues.
It's fine.
I also asked them to enlarge that lovely picture I took of the Grand Canyon and hang it behind my head, but they had technical difficulties.
Right.
They said it shouldn't be too hard to find a picture of a kitchen sink overflowing with filthy dishes to hang behind your head, though.
What?
I just want to keep this meeting authentic.
Actually, Carol, I think I'm ready to have regular office meetings now.
Well, that's as may be, but I have the whole team to consider. It is my responsibility to ease everyone back into real life as gently as possible. After so long working from home, we've got to help each other adapt to the new normal.
Was this Simon's idea?
Excuse me a moment. I've just got to let Simon in.
Carol, seriously?
Hold on. Just let him... Oh, God, how do you do this again? Oh, yes, I'll just let him in. Oh, hang on, just unmuting you.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, I think we can.
I said, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How about you, Sarah? Sarah? Can you hear Simon?
Yes.
We can both hear you, Simon.
Oh, that's so weird, I can't hear you.
Have you connected to the audio?
I haven't connected to the audio.
You need to connect to the audio.
Do I need to connect to the audio?
Simon, connect to the bloody audio.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, that's done it.
Okay, I requested this meeting so we could discuss...
Hold on, I can't see Carol anymore.
Well, I can see you.
Oh, now I can.
That's so weird.
But I can't see Sarah.
Switch to gallery view.
Now I can see you, but not Carol.
Switch to gallery view.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. As I was saying, I requested this meeting to ask for a little extra support. My team has several increased overheads to cover, so I was wondering if we could pull together and find other savings across the department. Otherwise, my team are going to really struggle to meet our agreed SLAs, really through no fault of our own, whereas I know other teams, your teams, don't have those challenges. So what I was wondering is, are you two using the instant chat to send private messages to each other?
No?
Well, just in case, I'm going to disable it.
You can't.
What?
I'm hosting the meeting.
Okay then, will you disable it then, please? Carol, please disable the chat.
All right.
Thank you. So what I was going to ask you is if you could possibly help me.
Tibble, stop it! I'm at work, honestly!
Is that your cat? That's
so funny! Sorry about that, you know what it's like.
As I was saying, I was going to ask if your teams could possibly...
Sorry, Sarah. We can't hear you. It's your kids again!
It's actually quite hard to follow what you're saying with your kids in the background.
I'm saying that my team would really appreciate it if we could all pull together and share the load of these increased overheads. Will you shut up? Shut up! Or I'll lock you in your bedroom with nothing to eat!
Could I request that we treat these meetings with a level of professionalism? I know we're dealing with an unprecedented situation.
It might be unprecedented, but we're all professionals.
Exactly. I see no reason why anything has to be different.
I'm still logging in at 8 a.m. sharp.
My workload has doubled since the support staff got furloughed.
So really, it's just you, Sarah.
It's just you not pulling your weight.
You nasty piece of work.
Oh, and I think getting dressed properly is the least we can ask for.
How dare you? How dare you? This gently adapting to the new normal is just another trick to undermine me. Oh, I'm sorry that I had to work from home with 3 kids next to me. I'm sorry I had to magic laptops out of thin air so they could do their schoolwork. I'm sorry I had to watch over them, check they understood, answer their questions whilst cooking for everyone, cleaning for everyone, managing everyone's feelings, coming up with fun activities, dealing with their petty squabbles, or whilst doing my actual job. Hunched over a kitchen table, dealing with clients, meeting your demands, all with no support from anyone. Would it really be so hard for you to just cut me some slack? Would it?
I think she's frozen.
Sarah, you've frozen.
What?
Oh, she's back.
Hi again.
Didn't hear a word you said, sorry.
Me neither. Was it important?
No. Not important.
You sure?
Yes. It doesn't matter at all.
Good. Now, as I was saying, who wants to see a picture of the banana bread I made yesterday?
Clever you. I love banana bread.
I just wish I could give you a slice.
Oh, what a shame we can't have some.
Come with me.
I've got so much free time. I made sourdough last week.
Was it tricky? I've started to learn crochet.
I said come with me.
What?
You'll have to come with me.
No, we don't.
Oh, yes, you do. I'm going for a shit. And you two are going to have to sit and watch me do it.
This all began before lockdown. It is a sad tale of interspecies incompatibility. I'm going to be banging on very unattractively. Try and be on my side. I started this painful journey with some notion of myself as a Healy, St. Francesca of Assisi sort of heroine. All winter, in my very small Healy garden, I'd been running the Early Bird Cafe, an interspecies eating establishment dedicated to keeping those little feathered fuckers alive when things were cold and tough. Frankly, it was an uphill struggle. The Sharrow dirigibles, landing like Sikorsky helicopters in the middle of my smaller clientele, the wren, the robin, and all the guys in the black flat caps and the blue vests and the high-vis yellow vested cold tits? Blue tits? Well, what does it matter? Oh, who are the Sharrow dirigibles, I hear you ask? Two very fat, very sleek, very well-fed, but very brainless wood pigeons who fly wobbling down, crashing into things, then stand knee-deep in the birdseed. Then after they've scarfed up all the mixed seed suitable for small wild birds, when they've emptied the whole damn tray, leave, I can only imagine, by way of a tip, one glistening turd. Anyway, come lockdown, what with one thing and another, biggest worldwide human being crisis since, Spanish flu? I decided to close the Early Bird Cafe, reopen in the autumn, restructure, finish off the last of the industrial amounts of birdseed I'd been buying all winter, look after number one. I'd put the last of the birdseed in the squirrel-proof bird feeder, Gardens Direct $8.99, and washing up, I spot Squirrel Outrageous out of the kitchen window, hanging upside down, helping herself to my birdseed. Here is what doesn't work with squirrels. Shouting, "That's not for you, you furry fucker!" from the other side of the glass. 2, knocking on the kitchen window like teacher, spotting somebody misbehaving in the schoolyard. 3, walking purposefully to the kitchen door in an "I mean it, I'm coming out now" way. And if you take longer than you should to open your own back door, a squirrel brain will interpret that as, "Oh, good, she's going to bring me some peanuts for pudding." It was at this precise moment that I realised I was late for a Zoom meeting. When I came back, somebody had emptied the squirrel-proof bird feeder. No prizes. Later that week, Squirrel Outrageous is back in my garden with 2 smaller squirrels, teaching them how to thieve, teaching them how to do insolence. Meanwhile, I get my delivery, my seed bombs. grow a bee-friendly meadow over 20 varieties of bee-friendly flower choices, which, to offset global warming, factory farming, and the vanishing of honeybees, plus also to feed my rapidly growing addiction to online shopping, I have decided to plant in my 6x4-foot flower bed. Well, hey, who says that meadows have to be extensive? The people behind the bee-friendly seed bombs advise planting them at regular intervals with a tiny bit of them above the ground, so presumably the shoots know which way to head. I water them. I am a happy, virtuous, climate-conscious, bee-loving woman. Half an hour later, I look out the kitchen window. Squirrel Outrageous is sitting on a haunch. She's holding a seed bomb in her front paws and munching on it like it's a breakfast muffin. Jeez. And no matter how many times that evening I storm out, she returns and returns for a seed bomb snack, running up the wall and stopping only inches from my clawing hand or perching on the fence, then contemptuously going over into next door's garden with a slow, "Really? We're playing that game, are we? Really?" That is it. You can push me so far, then it's war. I go online, find a delicious big fuck-off water pistol, rifle style, blue, white and orange, pump handle, Toys R Us, $14.99. Next day delivery. It arrives. I fill it with water, tool up. I sit in the garden, waiting. She appears on the fence to my right. I aim. I fire! She's quick. Not quick enough. She knows something has tipped the balance of power. She turns, but the water catches her as she tries to descend into next door gardens. She escapes, but with a very wet bottom. I have a glass of wine. She returns a couple more times just to see if the water was all a terrible dream. No, it's not, bitch. 2 more drenchings. She surrenders, goes back off to the park. Sorted. Then, one morning, I'm opening my bedroom window and I hear Mrs. Shaw next door, another bird lover, shouting, "No, you get away, that's not for you." I peep out. Mrs. Shaw is brandishing a broom handle. Clamped to the brand new squirrel-proof bird feeder on her wall, Swiss chalet style, B&Q, $17.99, I looked it up. Squirrel Outrageous. She is treating Mrs. Shaw with the same amused, contemptuous scorn she did with me. Isn't even getting off the roof of the miniature Swiss chalet. I'm going next door. I'm going to offer Mrs. Shaw my blue and white and orange water pistol. Humans, the interspecies war is coming. We've got to stick together. Somebody just sent me a clip of animals all over, taking over. An alligator snoozing on a doorstep. A lone wallaby boinging along a motorway. A walrus saving a parking space in a car park. 5 warthogs in a mall, obviously on their way to TK Maxx. 2 days later, I look out my bedroom window, down into the Shah Swiss chalet style small bird feeder. Its V-shaped roof is now decorated with 4 balloons, red, blue, yellow, purple. Mrs. Shah has found the solution to the squirrel problem. So simple. She is truly our Saint Francesca of healing.
go away. The latest figures show there have been more than 43,700 cases reported in the last 24 hours, the 7th day in a row that there have been over 40,000.
Why aren't you dressed?
I am.
For work?
I am dressed for work.
In your best trainers?
I wanted to make a good impression.
They'll be ruined in a day.
On my first day.
First day back?
First day in my new job.
Are you drunk?
No.
Ava! Come on, shoes, love!
I'm taking her.
You need to go in.
I'm not going in.
Your furlough ended?
I'm not going back. I decided this morning.
What? Ava, shoes, love!
I'll leave her for a while.
I need to drop her off. Jeez, Jess is picking me up.
She's still in bed.
Christ, Ava!
She's not going to breakfast club.
What?
I'll take her to nursery. She can have breakfast here with me like she has done for the past 3 months. She can have an extra hour in bed or playing.
Help me out here, Tom.
I've been thinking.
Right, I ain't got time for this. Ava!
Time for what?
Your furlough's over.
I know, Matt.
We need the money.
What money?
Wages, for Christ's sake.
I'll sell the car.
Do you need to go back to the doctor?
I pay to go to work. Most of my wages go on getting to work and on the car. Parking, insurance, petrol. I only bought the car so I could get to work. And I only work so I can pay for the car.
This is crazy.
Not to mention the time, an hour there, an hour back. 10 hours a week sat in the car, sat in traffic, killing the environment to line someone else's pocket.
What about our pockets?
You manage.
We need 2 incomes.
No, we don't. They're looking for volunteers. Redundancy. I'll get a few grand. We've got a few hundred saved. How crazy is it that I get 80% of my wages and we're better off? If that isn't a clue that capitalism isn't working, then I don't know what is. We'll get bikes when Eva's older. It'll be good for her. It'll be good for all of us and for the environment. I can do little bit and bobs while she's at nursery.
You said you hated it.
I did.
Yet you lost your identity.
I did. But it was the identity given to me by someone else. My careers advisor, that one time I met him, my dad.
We need the money, love.
Not you!
That is not fair.
My mate's taking the piss because I was at home looking after my kid. Our kid. But it was embarrassing, but I didn't say anything. Look, you love your job.
I do. I do love my job. But without a promotion, I can't earn any more money. And without qualifications, I can't get a promotion. We have been over this 1,000 times.
What was it your dad said?
When?
In the end, at the hospital.
I think that nurse fancies me. He said, try and take the positives from this shit show.
I did. Why don't you? I can have Eva on a Thursday. You can go back to college.
It's really kind of you, but
Money never was holding us back. I was. Wanting to be the breadwinner, being an arse and worrying about what my mates thought. Instead, I should have been worrying about what you and Eva thought.
I'm scared.
Of what?
Money? Future? Doing the right thing?
The right thing. We've been unhappy for years. You giving up your career, me hating my job. This shitstorm has broken a spell. I've seen it for what it is. Loaded against us, the little people, the key workers, the minimum wages holding it all together. I felt guilty at first of being laid off. Ashamed, even. Thought I wasn't contributing. Then I saw Eva's face. Saw how happy she was, not being passed from pillar to post in some breakfast club, after school club, or with some neighbour when she should have been with one of us.
Do my best.
I said one of us, love. I'm not blaming you. It broke a spell, and saw what it could be like for us, for all of us. And I loved it. Like how you love your job. Then go after it. Go back to college and get that promotion you deserve.
Jess will be here soon.
It's gonna be alright. Promise. What?
Suits you. Give Eva a kiss from me.
We're in college.
Welcome, welcome, welcome! Who wants to play a game? I said, who wants to play a game? Come on, do you want to play a game? Yes! Right, fantastic. Well, welcome to the show, our first contestants. Okay. Let's get straight to it, shall we? Not got all night, and we've not got a great attention span. Now, well, I'd like you to meet Saf. Now, she calls herself an artist, but mainly she pays the bills with personal training, which she overcharges for and then lies about so that she can still claim benefits.
Oh, right. Nice hustle, Saf. What's your art?
I mostly crush beetles and smear them on clay.
Lovely.
Sometimes I make cups.
Oh, very useful. Well, I mean,
Saf, our bachelor tonight is a professional con man and a people pleaser who will stop at nothing to come out of a conversation in a positive light.
That's true. I mean, I prefer to just say charming, but well observed, you have a very good eye.
He spent the last year convincing strangers on the internet to share their cryptocurrency.
So you're a troll?
Oh, that's a bit rude.
A catfish?
Oh, cute.
I'm not good at animals.
He's a thief.
A smart one.
And not a troll.
Oh, a businessman.
What's the difference?
Look, let's meet the next one, shall we? I thought we'd get on. Beetle crusher. Nice face, weird energy. I dig that, but you know.
You dig that? Ew.
Okay, next we have Elizabeth. She's a quote-unquote a fierce boss bitch with a seemingly crippling anxiety problem.
I'm getting better.
Which she can only cope with by drinking excessive amounts of Pinot Noir and ruining her friends' relationships.
I don't actually. It was just that one time with Steve when he was cheating on...
Doesn't sound like the one for me. Next.
Okay, up next we have Damien.
You what?
Damien runs his own painting and decorating business and also...
Why are you showing me a guy?
And also arranges community sports events on the weekends.
I'm not gay.
He does fun runs and five-a-sides.
I don't care. Why are you showing me a dude?
You put on your form that you were pansexual, so we're showing you...
Fuck! I didn't think you read those things.
Well, yeah, we read everything and we save it. Then if we're lucky, we can sell it on as valuable private information to larger corporations.
I just ticked what I thought would get me on the show.
Right.
Look, I'm just looking for a nice woman, you know, someone normal, all right?
Oh, good luck there, friend. Look, we're going to have to give you your choices, and I'm not sure we should say things like normal. What's to say who's normal, right?
Just how much private information did you say you have again?
Oh, I
mean, are you You selling it yourself? Do you get a commission for my sexual preferences?
Okay, right, I think it's time for an ad break.
Hear ye! Hear ye! I have a prophecy!
Ooh, a prophecy!
A new pandemic is on the horizon.
Oh.
We must stop the show. We have a lack of resources. We must band together to look after ourselves.
Boo, boring! This is supposed to be news. Tell us something new.
We must share all we have if we are to survive.
We are sharing.
We must look after each other.
Oh, come on now, we are.
Even the mad ones.
What?
Even the quiet ones.
Ooh?
Even the sad ones.
That shit's a bit awkward, though.
Especially the very angry ones.
Oh, seriously, but they're the worst. Oh, hey up, Karen. You look nice today.
Fuck off!
Okay.
There is no hope. I feel stupid writing anything down. I feel utterly pathetic even bringing myself to speak aloud. Why would you assume that I have any fight to give? Why would you think that I have any means to summon anger? Why would you look at me and think, yes, there is my soldier? Your army is weak, gloom-riddled, apathetic, and my spirit has been shot down. I'm not sure that I can recall a time that it danced. I cannot recall a time that it sang, that I sang, yet alone spoke aloud, yet alone shared my thoughts with more than a small crowd, more than the mirror. More eyes watch now, and I crumble, aware now acutely of how the fabric clings to my thighs, boobs, hips, stomach, which have ballooned. And I know, through the body affirmation for movement, that I am meant to view my curves as a blessing, and I should accept my legs for their functionality, my strong legs which can run fast, you think, and march with us, screams on the army, but I remain blank, and I remain blank on the outside, nameless. But there is a shred of something. Fuck you and your army. Tiny and small, but echoing powerfully, it resonates from a space inside me so tightly wound down, deep within a cavity somewhere etched into my ribs. I don't want to give a shit about my form, and I do not want to share my thoughts on my body with men. I do not want to feel the pressure of sharing my thoughts at all. Do not invite me to your fucking tea party. I will piss in the pot. I will smash the china. And I will...
I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm sorry.
That's nice. Fuck. I hate it when people are nice.
It's times like these by the Foo Fighters, everybody. Just like Jerry.
Just
now.
to let me know, really. Wonder about that. Hang on. iPad failure.
1, 2, 1, 2.
These we learn to I think suffering's harder the more you suffer. Detachment's easier the more you detach. Somehow we're all connected. We're all here, wandering blind through life, taking the hits and the bullets and brushing it off like it was nothing. Pieces of us missing, lost to the past, if we're lucky. Thank you for agreeing to do this today.
What's this for again?
We're conducting a study on hate crime. We're doing a study.
Mm.
Do you want to start by telling me how you find prison typically day to day? Your thoughts, feelings, anything you have to say?
No.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sorry?
What do you think of it? Dirty? Bleak? Harrowing?
I just want to get an idea or a narrative of how you view your surroundings.
Come round this side, I'll give you a tour.
All right, how about your relationship with the staff?
Non-existent.
Is there anything you strongly dislike about prison?
Look, ask me what you really want to know.
Well, this is what I need to know, nothing else outside of this.
I'll tell you what I think and feel. I think this place isn't really my punishment, and I feel that you know that too. And the judgment behind your eyes, well, that's unmistakable.
I'm not judging you.
How old are you? 24? 25? Girlfriend?
No.
I can tell. Are you afraid?
What, of women?
Me?
No.
No, you're not. You're afraid of what I can do.
Did.
So you want to know about it?
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't have to. It's in the eyes. Let me impart some wisdom on you that'll last you long past this study. You get to a particular part of your life where you realise that everyone's a little fucked up. Everybody's been affected by something. Death, divorce, debt, whatever. And it's chipped away at them. Parts of them are empty and missing. And it makes you crazy. Makes you do crazy things. Things that are out of your control. Because you're dead to the world. Lost to a broken part of yourself and lost to the past. And there's no coming back. I resided in a bubble. An impenetrable bubble of mind that made me feel isolated, alone, lonely. Well, not. Well, maybe, yes. Canal Street. Glitter and beads everywhere, lining the sides of the pavements like cat's eyes. That's Canal Street. And this guy was looking at me, fag in one hand, Stella in the other, tank top too tight to hold his expanding beer belly. I didn't think he was going to say anything, but he did. He said, "Come down here often, dear love," really sarcastic. I wasn't going to say anything, but I felt compelled that evening. I said, "Fuck off." He said, "You what?" I said, "Fuck off, mate." You see, I felt compelled. I was high, but that's not the point. Bang! Straight in the bullseye, straight between the eyes. And he lay there, bleeding and squealing, bleeding that faggot blood out all over the pavement, the big fat pig. That's what I was like. That's just who I was. I wasn't there to play fucking games or fucking sugarcoat anything. And a lot of people out there are still like that. There's an army with the same switched on light bulb brain consuming the bullshit propaganda they're shoving down the throats of the masses. Now my counsellors are saying I should be proud that I'm not the way that I was. Well, pride is fucking selfish. Like I said, I was high and that's my past. And what does that say about me, eh? That my best days were when I was punching faggots down because I was as high as a kite.
He was my uncle, you piece of shit! He didn't deserve anything you did to him. You've been treated in the lap of luxury while you rot here. 3 square meals a day, cosy bed, everything. You've earned everything for the sick shit you did. You're here and he's in the ground and he did nothing.
Now there's that judgment and tussling spirit.
You're sick and you deserve to rot in here. I can't even look at you.
Now I'm ready to answer your study question.
Fuck the questions. Answer this. What gave it away that was related to him?
No visitations in 11 years. No one. I knew you were either related to him or you were my ex-wife. And she's dead.
Why?
I did tell you.
Why him?
Look, kid, I'm not twiddling my thumbs and blowing bubbles in here. I have nothing. I have nothing more to give and nothing more to take.
I wanted to help you. I gave you that chance. I needed to see if people like you could really change, but you can't. None of you can ever change. Because you don't want to. To this day, you still call him a faggot and a pig, and you are proud. You're proud and you're selfish, and everyone's right. You don't deserve help if you can't change.
You want to say more, don't you?
I've nothing more to say to you.
When I was 10, I caught a frog in a local pond. And I squeezed it so tight, its eyes popped out of its sockets. And the feeling that gave me, oh, power. The frog tried wriggling its slimy way out of my hand, but my grip was too much. It was consumed by the culture. It was harmless until it wasn't. That's when I first felt the silence. I say feel because you can't hear it. And when you feel it, it's constant. You can't see yourself when you're like that. You can't see others clearly. Blurred lines and blind wall between you and the ones you love, and sometimes random strangers. I've come to know, and I'm telling you, it's deafening, the silence. I killed a frog, a cat, a dog. And my granddad hit me so hard I forgot how to breathe. I never had it easy, and everybody's a little fucked up, but he hit me so hard that I went missing. And he kept hitting me, and I kept disappearing, and one day I went altogether. Emptiness, missing, broken, dead. So when you see something that's whole, you consume, and you consume, and you ravage the bare bones until it's disappeared. Abysmal. The world's fucked, kid. The world is fucked.
I heard you the first time.
I hope you did.
I'm done.
He's got what he wanted!
This is nice. And it's not too busy. But I think that's because people are still a bit worried about, concerned about venturing out, mixing, getting back to... Everybody at the counter was saying that they hadn't been in here for ages. Well, I didn't say anything, because I've never been in here at all. Oh, I've walked past it 1,000 times, every Friday morning, for the past 5 years, on the way up the hill to Lloyd's Bank and the Nationwide, just up the road. 9:30 on the dot. You see, it's free parking before 10 a.m, and Alan's a stickler for not paying the council a penny more than is necessary. This place has a good reputation in town, and I've asked Alan to bring me in here times many. But he'd say, I'm not paying £3.50 for a tea bag and a cup of hot water when we're only 10 minutes from home and I can have it for free. And anyway, if I had brought him in here, he'd have only sat grumbling about the £2.50 he'd had to fork out for an hour's parking. So, in the end, I stopped mentioning it. I said to myself, June, it is not worth the bother. If he could see me now, eh? Oh, that's lovely. You know, if I hadn't been double jabbed, I don't think I'd have had the confidence to come in here. As it stands, I've had to build up the courage. Well, that might sound silly to you, but you see, I'm not used to going anywhere without Alan, especially since he took retirement. He worked hard for us. Long hours. We never had a family, but we could have nice things. A nice home. I didn't work after we married. I was just a housewife. Alan used to say, not just a housewife. It's the most important job in the world. He was very protective of me. No matter where he was working, he'd call me every hour on the hour to make sure I was okay. He always left me a list of jobs to do to make sure I didn't get bored, fed up. But I had my hobbies too, my crafts, my sewing, my watercolours. I spent hours. But I would have it all cleared away by the time he got back. He called it the clutter. So, all cleared away and the dinner on. He'd come in and he'd say, "Have you achieved today's objectives?" When Alan took his retirement, he was determined to stay active. There was his golf twice a week, his bowls, and his football on Saturdays. Oh, I never minded. To be honest, I was glad of the break from him. You see, then I could get on with all the little list of jobs he'd got me. But he'd still phone me every hour on the dot. When Maggie phoned me, he'd been in hospital for about a week. She said that she'd heard on the company grapevine that Alan had contracted COVID and that he'd been hospitalised. I said it was very good of her to show this concern for an ex-colleague. "Don't be silly," she said. "We all thought the world at him as Smith and Blakely Engineering." I thought, that's not the impression I got from Alan, but I kept my own counsel. Anyway, she asked, "How is he doing?" I told her that he was in the ICU on a ventilator. He'd shown some signs of very slight improvement, but he was still, as the hospital put it, very poorly indeed. I said that it was difficult for me to know for sure exactly how he was, because obviously I wasn't allowed to visit. But they had been very good at giving me regular bulletins. She seemed upset. And she didn't seem to have taken in what I'd said, because she said, "Have they given you any sort of prognosis?" I said no. But as Alan had had severe asthma as a child, his lungs were damaged. That's why he'd been susceptible to infection. And as they put it, reduced his chances of making a full recovery. There was what sounded like a gasp, and then silence on the other end. Then the phone went dead, and I knew she'd hung up. I felt guilty for upsetting her. I thought using the medical terminology had come across a bit too blunt, a bit abrupt, unsympathetic. So I thought I'd better call her back. But when I looked on the recent calls, it said number withheld. Well, I knew I couldn't get her at the office because no one was there, because they were all still working from home. Then I remembered that Alan's mobile had all his old colleagues' numbers on it because he used to have to contact them out of office hours at work. I put it on charge. Now, I didn't have a smartphone, and I'm not the best with IT, so I didn't know how to find the phone book. The contacts thingy. But I managed to look in recent calls. And there it was. Mags. The day before he went into hospital. And the day before that. And every day. For weeks. Months. I dropped the phone on the sofa. Heard it on the company grapevine, she'd said. No. He'd been calling her from his sickbed. I sat looking at his phone next to me, trying to get some perspective on it, trying not to jump to conclusions. I couldn't help myself. I called her on his phone. She picked up. "Hello," she said. I said, "Hello, Maggie. She said, "Oh, I thought you thought it was Alan." How long's it been going on, Maggie? Nothing. For a few seconds that felt like minutes. Then she just said, "I'm sorry, June. I'm so very sorry." They only allowed 30 minutes in the crematorium due to the restrictions. Turned out that he was more popular than I thought. There were a lot of people outside. All his colleagues from Smith and Blakely Engineering were there. On the way out, in the funeral car, I tried so hard not to look out for Maggie. But there she was, stood there, head to foot in black.
Look for the lights, Mulder.
Anyone home? Scully, look at this place.
So much toilet paper.
I told you.
Pandemic wasn't just a conspiracy to sell toilet paper, Mulder.
Can you prove otherwise?
Yes. If it had all just been a ploy, the shops wouldn't have run out.
Yeah, fair point. There's still something suspicious about it all, though. Something bigger going on that we don't know about.
Bigger than a global pandemic.
Exactly. What if COVID was developed in a lab?
You're not the only paranoid type to say that.
Specifically developed to fight off alien invaders.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. In War of the Worlds, the Martian tripods were only defeated when they all caught the common cold. Perhaps this virus is here to defeat an even nastier kind of alien.
Any evidence for that?
Do you see any aliens?
Right. Any sign of our target?
Nothing I can see.
Hello? Is anybody here?
Look, newspaper on the floor. Dog food?
What's your point?
Perhaps she's got a dog.
Genius, Mulder.
So where is it?
Another conspiracy?
Not everything's conspiracy, Scully.
Then what?
Perhaps they got rid of it. Another puppy adopted during lockdown, cast out into the world once the owners got bored.
Nope. It's over here.
Oh,
Definitely not a puppy either.
You're right. It's mutated. Maybe it's several abandoned puppies fused together into one giant beast, like in Transformers, Voltron, or latterly Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah. Or maybe the puppy just grew.
Yeah. Could be that also.
Good dog! Good dog! Oh, isn't she cute?
Suppose.
What's wrong? Can't you just accept that things are getting normal?
Yeah. Normal.
What? What is it?
Just something really significant happened to all of us. We need to learn from it. Change, even. Do we want to go back to just normal? Pretend nothing happened?
Explain.
Well, first lockdown, the really strict one. Hardly anyone in the street, not a single jet stream in the sky. It was the best thing to happen to nature in a long time.
So, you're saying the pandemic's a good thing?
No! God, I'm not a monster! They were terrifying! I just kinda hoped if nature had a chance to thrive, what if super nature evolved too? Bigfoot, Mothman, what if the Loch Ness Monster took the chance to roam the streets while we were all locked indoors?
The Loch Ness Monster roaming the streets?
The Sheffield equivalent, anyway.
And what's the Sheffield equivalent?
I don't know. Some kind of big snail with a face of Sean Bean that leaves trails of Anderson's relish while humming Jarvis Cocker to itself while on the way to snooker.
Can we just do our job?
Right. The only door we haven't checked is this one.
Okay.
Okay. 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello? Miss Carter? Miss Christine Carter?
Yes?
You didn't answer. We thought you were in trouble.
Look at her outfit. She was clearly on a Zoom older.
Huh?
Weren't you watching the first half? They've done that joke already.
I know should have gone earlier in the running order.
Oh, God. Is this one of those X-Files references where it goes all over?
Excuse me, can I help you?
Sorry. You alone here, Miss Carter?
Yes, just me.
Doesn't that get a bit boring?
No, as established, I was just on a Zoom. Who are you?
FBI?
What? Stop saying that. We're not the FBI.
HSBC.
You're from the office.
That's right. Where you should be.
But I'm doing my work.
Are you?
Yes. Well, I was. I heard voices in the front room and came in to investigate. I'm in the middle of a Zoom with a customer.
Yeah, they can wait. Maybe we can have ourselves a little chat.
You want me to stop working so I can talk to you about work?
I'll talk to him.
Have a seat.
This is my house.
Right. Can I have a seat?
No.
Okay. So, how is work going, Miss Carter?
Fine. Good, actually. Much easier talking to customers when you're not in the middle of a call centre, being distracted by everyone else.
Not quite the same as being in the same room, though, is it?
No, but I work in the call centre.
Not the point.
If you want face-to-face, you shouldn't
Really?
stop kiosing branches.
Really, not the point.
What did you say to my customer?
Said you'd call him back. Nice chap. Want to talk savings accounts?
Yeah, seems to have actually been saving some money during lockdown. Same for me, actually.
Oh, I know, right? Bus and train tickets, plus all the junk you buy waiting for them.
Do you know all the newsagents and shops around train stations bring in £30 million a year to the economy? That's why they're campaigning to get us back on the trains. It's not because it's all sticking to our cars is fucking up the environment. It's so we can spend our cash.
That's the real conspiracy here.
No, it isn't! No, it bloody isn't!
Excuse my partner. Doesn't want things going back to normal either.
Would you rather work from home as well?
It's not that. I'm just tired of knowing something post-apocalyptic is coming, but it's still being pre-apocalyptic.
Well, we're mid-apocalypse. apocalypse at this point, let's be honest.
Yeah, fair.
How do you know an apocalypse is coming?
HSBC!
Is this really about your family not wanting to play board games with you through lockdown?
No. Maybe. My daughter was always playing PlayStation online and my partner was just re-binging Supernatural box sets.
Why don't you go home, Mulder? Actually be with your family, instead of being in the same room as them.
Can I? Okay, yes please.
Oh, I've got some board games. Do you want to maybe...
Yeah, sure. Have you been playing with them with your dog who's gained an uncanny level of sentience, if not intelligence? Nothing. I'll set up.
But little did our heroes know that in the early decades of the 21st century, the danger is not overt invasion like War of the Worlds. It's something far more crafty, like Day of the Triffids. Remember, while that tale's meteor shower left society blind, the carnivorous Triffids have been here waiting all along. Perhaps what humanity will really need to keep a watchful eye on is...
It's your move.
Okay. Or maybe the next move is yours.
My plan was to dig an escape tunnel. Figured if I dug 15 foot down, then 15 foot up, I would come up in that beer garden across from the prison. Figured if I stayed on gardens, I could be having a pint in that pub in 4 months and 13 days. I started digging on a likely spot. I just started on the top soil when a voice from a window shouted, "Stop!" I thought, that's the end of my escape tunnel plan. But the voice said, "Don't dig there, that's Ruth Ellis's grave." I said, "Who's Ruth Ellis then?" And the voice said, "She was the last woman to be hanged in England. Dig somewhere else." And I thought, I am standing with the edge of my spade in the last woman to be hanged in England. And it done something to my head. It was like someone had put a spade in the top of my brain and they'd lifted off the top soil. And there, lying in the earth, was all these women. It was like I was on one of those archaeological digs where they find old brooches, knives, bottles, nutshells. Only I was finding these dead women. And I thought of that place, Pompeii, where that volcano erupted and lava covered everything and everybody was like stuck doing whatever it was that they were doing that day. And I thought, suppose that happened here. This prison is suddenly swamped in lava. And hundreds of years from now, someone, like me, is digging and they find this prison. And all the women stuck doing what it was they were doing that day. What would that person digging think? Tried to get my head around that. They'd find this building full of women. So, what's all this about then? That's what the archaeologist would say. A building full of women. Why did all these women live together? Were they some sort of holy order? Was this a brothel? Was this a place where these women could go to enjoy each other's company? And they seemed to be together in very small rooms. And then, when they swept away some of the dust, they'd find that some of these women wore the same clothes and had on these belts with these metal objects on. Was that a sort of jewellery? Wonders the archaeologist. And then the archaeologist would say, wait a minute. This is a key. These women who wore the same clothes all had these keys. And all the women in the same clothes seemed to be outside of the rooms, with the other women inside. Then suddenly the archaeologist puts it all together. Sussed it, she says. This place had women who were very, very important for some reason. Very, very special, with very mighty powers. And the archaeologist thinks that she's uncovered the truth of its society. Its women had mighty, mighty powers. I come out of my head with someone saying, Rosie, you finished turning over that flower bed yet? And I'm back in the prison gardens, next to Ruth Ellis's grave. Only, I'm not really back. My head has been turned over. Instead of the usual gloom and grey, I see mighty power. No wonder they've got us under lock and key. We are mighty. No wonder they've got us under the thumb. We are powerful. No wonder they've got us on tranks. Our heads are full of danger to them. And instead of a tunnel to the pub, I am digging a new tunnel through the shit that they have shoveled into my head. Mud to stop me moving, cement to keep me still, dirt to muck me up, and I am planting seeds everywhere. Hey, you think you're the dirt, but you're not, kid, I say to one. You are the plant, not the fertiliser, I say to another. Don't dig out, dig in, I say. You are a lovely rose. You are a scent of summer. You are a whole bouquet. You are a wonderful fucking flower garden. Do you know how long it took me to think through all of that? 3 hours. That's how long it took me to put flowers around Ruth Ellis's grave